So, I've just watched the finale of Stranger Things Season 4. And there is a friggin' lot to get into. I feel like I've got more questions than answers at this point. What happened to Murray? What happened to Enzo? What happened to little annoying Russian guy who laughs at everything? Why did they never tell us any of this? What happened to Dr. Ben? I'm very grateful I watched it now rather than 3 years ago. Because if I had to wait like 3-4 years for the next episode, I'd be peed off. Because a year is long enough to wait because it's meant to come out at the end of this year. But it's crazy. There's so much to wrap my head around. First of all, I'm so relieved that Hopper made it out alive because I thought he was dead. I thought my king was going to die. At the end of season 3, I was like, Hopper's dead. But then, we saw the end credit scene and was like, maybe he's alive. And I'm so glad he's alive because I was really worried they'd do all this just for him to make a sacrifice again and die, which would have all been for nothing. Also, I'm very happy that Enzo, the guy, the Russian guy, he made out alive because I was certain he was going to be like one of them Bob characters, may God rest his soul, where, it's all well and good we've made it, and then we turn around and we see him see him dying. That would have been too much for me, but he made it out alive, thank God. And even little annoying guy, I don't know what he's called, his name's left my head, but even he made it out alive. He turned out good in the end. I mean, I was just saying the whole way through watching this, if he would have just taken the original offer, he would have got 40 grand and been all fine. But now he's in big trouble and all that, so he just wasn't very wise, was he? But overall, I did really enjoy the episode. I thought it was a thrilling 2.5 hours. It did not feel that long. There's just so much happened. I feel like it's going to take me a few days to properly digest it almost, because what? To start with, I feel like my favourite plotline for this episode and season was the Russian one, probably just because I cared that much about Hopper. I really like Hopper and I really like Murray as well, and I think Hopper and Joyce are a very good couple together. I really like them together, and seeing them finally kiss was so cute. It was so wholesome, My heart melted into little bits of juice, like strawberry juice, or yeah. The storyline, which I didn't really care too much about, was the whole California thing. I feel like probably everyone probably shares that sort of opinion. It's just a bit distracting. It's a bit just get back to the action because we have to deal with Argyle, man, who's just being him. And there's nothing wrong with his character. It's just was there any need for it, really? He's just a bit of a pioneer, really. And he's just messed up Jonathan. And I miss Jonathan's character because I feel like in the first 3 seasons, I much preferred him to now, even though he did do some dodgy things in season 1, taking photos and all that. But yeah, his sin is just a bit of a stoner this season, John. And that's not good. Come on, turn it around. And obviously we had the guys like Steve and all that stuff who were like, yeah, we've got to go and kill Vecna. And they did a very brave job, to be fair. I'm very proud of Steve and, Robin and Nancy. They didn't kill him, obviously, because he waddled away little Vecna, which was not on. But yeah, they did a good job. They were interesting to watch. And then obviously there was the whole thing about Eddie and that. May God rest his soul as well. Fortunately, well, not fortunately, but I did get his death spoiled for me quite a bit before. When I just started watching it, I heard it. So it wasn't a big blow, but I feel like it would have been a lot sadder if I didn't know. It was sad, though, because I liked Eddie. He was just a poor, innocent guy, wasn't he, really, in the end of it? He just got dragged into this. And, his death was avoidable. If he'd have just kept biking along, he'd have been fine. But I suppose what was the point? Because he was going to get arrested and, prosecuted and all that good stuff in the world. So he's like, I'm going to try and make a difference. I'm going to fight. And poor Dusty, broke his ankle or whatever trying to get back to him, just see him die, which is tragic. And how did Dusty make it back out of that world? Do you think he just did a little jump or anything? I don't know. And then obviously there was Lucas and Max as well, and poor Max, she's blind, she's broken her bones. That was nasty stuff, and honestly brutal. When that was happening, I was like, oh my gosh, that poor girl. And part of me thought she was going to die, but I did guess that she wouldn't, and I'm not sure why. I just had the feeling, because we've had a scare with her before, and I'm like, it's fine, It was all good. Then we had the lovely guys who were like, oh, Eddie's evil, we're going to, hunt him down and kill him. He was pretty annoying, the main guy for that. I forgot his name as well, I do apologise, but, he is. And, yeah, he died as well. He got split in half when there was an earthquake. Well, not an earthquake, when Vecna had a temper tantrum and just decided to split the world into 4, as you do. That is so me when I lose in Fortnite. Which is pretty brutal, and he didn't deserve to die, really. He was a pride, don't get me wrong, but if my girlfriend had, every bone in her body had been broken and her eyes had been gouged out and stuff like that, I think I'd go off the rails a little bit. And obviously it wasn't Eddie's fault, and he should have known it wasn't Eddie's fault, but he just had this belief in his head, and I think his feelings were valid in a way, but he was still a bad man. And I'm not going to miss him, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was one of them. Honestly, it was probably the shortest 2.5 hours in my life. I was scared for some characters. I was like, but I kind of knew most characters would survive in a way, so I'm a bit disappointed that I already knew that, because it's just like, everyone says their favourite character is Steve and they're scared for him to die in season 5, so I was like, well, they wouldn't say that if he was already dead, would they? But, you know, it kind of gave me peace of mind. I was just relieved that Hopper made out alive, and my beloved Murray, he's just such a king, you know, he's the guy, he's the bread and butter of this squad. It was just an entertaining episode. I do think, and I do slightly prefer the finale of season 3. I'm not going to lie, you know, prosecute me, you know, beat me up, but that's just my personal opinion. I just feel like it was more impactful, because obviously the ending of this one, like, it's like a cliffhanger. What happens, and how is there meant to be a time leap between this and, you know, the next season? Because are they just going to chill in like a red, smoky, cracked in Fort Hawkins? Because I wouldn't be doing that. Or, you know, it baffles the mind, honestly. My brain after that was complete mush. Like, I could not have told you anything that happened. I was just like, too many things to process, you know. We laughed sometimes, we cried sometimes. We got Hopper back finally, because that's mad that entire season, you know, he was just chilling in Russia, poor guy, trying to escape. And we even saw him take his top off, which was probably one of my favourite scenes. But yes, anyways, these are my thoughts. And I feel like the structure of this video kind of matches my brain, because it's just all over the place. Like, I had like 50 thoughts running through my head at any given point. I was like, what's going on here? I had to ask a few questions, because I was just like, what? But yeah, I did enjoy Vecna as a baddie. He is a baddie. Not gonna lie, he's mean. You know, he's got like wiggly worms on him and everything. Like, what more do you want from a baddie? And I can't wait for him to return next season and die, hopefully, because, you know, what a punk. But yeah, anyway, that does wrap up this video. I hope you did enjoy it. It's just been a bit of a babble. But, you know, I needed to get my thoughts on this amazing episode to screen. That makes no sense. But yeah. And I shall be doing more Strange Things analysis in the future, like it or lump it. But yeah, that wraps up this video. I hope you all did enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you can. If you can't, that's okay. I understand. But, you know, I would appreciate it. And that is all. So thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.